Hello everyone and welcome to my UEFA Champions League Matchday 2 score predictions. There was a few upsets last week. Chelsea losing 1-0 to Dynamo Zagreb, Liverpool losing 4-1 to Napoli. Also Rb Leipzig losing 4-1 to Shakhtar Donetsk as well could be, considered a big upset in that one there as well. But we go again for Matchday 2, starting off with Sporting the Club Portugal against Tottenham Hotspur, where Sporting got a nice comfortable 3-0 victory over Frankfurt in their last game. Tottenham beat Marseille 2-0 as well in their last game. I'm going to back both sides to score in this one, and I'm going to agree with the majority straight away. I think Tottenham will get a 2-1 away victory, but I think it'll be a close game. Sporting really did well against Frankfurt, and overall, genuinely, they are a pretty decent club in the Champions League. Anyway, yes, next up, we've got the team that I cannot pronounce against Inter Milan, where the team that I cannot pronounce lost 4-1 to Barcelona in their last game, and Inter Milan lost 2-0 to Bayern Munich. I think this should be Inter Milan's game. I'm not going to back the team that I cannot pronounce to score. What is it? I don't even know. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Inter Milan in this one. Nice, comfortable victory. They should pick up all 3 points. Let's move quickly on from this team. And then next up is now Marseille against Frankfurt, where this one's going to be a pretty good one because both sides did lose in their opening game week. Both sides will want to get some points on the board. It's a good game for this. Marseille at home at this one. I think a draw may be the most obvious result for this one, but I am going to back a Marseille home victory in this one. I'm going to say both sides to score. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Marseille in this one. And then next up, it's the big one, Bayern Munich against Barcelona. Will all the big forwards step up like Robin Lewandowski scored a hat-trick in his last game? Sadio Mane didn't score in his last game, but he's had a pretty good start to his Bayern Munich career. Will Barcelona have the 8-2 memories from the other year? Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Good test for both sides' defences in this one. I am going to back Bayern Munich, though, to get the victory. And I'm going to go with another 2-1 scoreline here. I'm going to go 2-1 Bayern Munich. There may be more goals than that. It might go stupid. But, the realistic of that happening again, pretty slim. So, I'm saying Bayern Munich victory. It'll be a very tight one. Both sides to score another 2-1 victory. Right, next up, Bayer Leverkusen against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid picked up a 2-1 victory against FC Porto in their last game. Leverkusen, they lost 1-0 to Club Rouge. And really, this game should be Atletico Madrid's. I'm going to agree with the majority in this one. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to the Spanish side. And then next, we have got FC Porto against Club Rouge, where, as I said, both sides did win in the previous matches in Matchday 1, but I think the winner of this one, this one's just one that I don't know anything about. Club Rouge, I know Porto had did that major upset to Juventus in one of the other seasons, and Porto actually make it to the knockout stages quite often as well in this competition, but never actually make it to the semi-finals or the final, apart from that time when I did say they beat Juventus and they did lose to Chelsea. That was when Chelsea left the Champions League, not last season, but 2 seasons ago. Yeah, Porto should have the win. Again, for the scoreline, I don't know. I'm going to go 3-1. I'll back both sides to score, but I think Porto should have this win. And then next up is Rangers against Napoli. Rangers, of course, lost 4-0 to Ajax in the last game. Pretty bad result that for Rangers. And Napoli beat Liverpool 4-1. No idea what's going to happen at Anfield in our next game against Ajax, but let's just focus on this one for now. They're at home. I'm going to back them to get one. I'm also going to back Napoli to to win this one also. I'm going to go for another 3-1 victory. It agrees with the majority of this one as well. And yeah, let's move on now to Liverpool against Ajax, where, of course, something's going to tell me to back Ajax for this one after losing 4-1 to Napoli. They are back at Anfield now, though, so maybe them being at home, the home support can change something around. Of course, they did beat Bournemouth 9-0 in the Premier League. I know they're two different competitions and completely two different teams. I'm not saying Bournemouth will be able to pick up a victory against Ajax, but at home, Liverpool can do well. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say there'll be a 3-2 victory to Liverpool in this one. I'm going to just go for it. High scoring, but they're going to pick up a victory and they need to start scoring. But as I said, they're at home. I think they can do that. So 3-2 victory to Liverpool in this one. Next up, Shakhtar Donetsk against Celtic. Celtic away in this one. You know, they lost 3-0 to Real Madrid in the last game. That was pretty much expected, I think. Although there were quite a few people saying that could end a draw or a narrow victory to Real Madrid, but that wasn't the case in the end. But in this one, I am going to back Shakhtar Donetsk. Did just beat Rb Leipzig 4-1, didn't they? And see, when you think of these two sides, you don't think them as any good sides. I know Celtic lost, but I'm just thinking of Shakhtar Donetsk here. 4-1 against Rb Leipzig. Celtic's still going to be a pretty tough opposition for them. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one. I'll go high scoring. And then AC Milan against Dynamo Zagreb. Should be a Milan victory. They did actually only pick up a 1-1 draw against Rb Salzburg. AC Milan actually did. So they definitely want to bounce back. And depending on if Dynamo Zagreb are going to do that defence thing again like they did against Chelsea, where they are away from home here in Milan, so I think it will be a little bit trickier. I'm going to go 2-0 Milan in this one and agree with the majority. I don't think Dynamo Zagreb will be able to score in this one, and Milan should find a way through the defence. Next up is the underdog team of every Champions League. Last season it was Sheriff. This time it's another team that I can't pronounce, but I'll give it a go. Haifa against PSG, where I have put Kylian Mbappe in my fantasy team for this week because I do think he'll be able to score quite a lot of goals in this game. And also, he did score 2 goals in his previous game over the 2-1 victory over Juventus in the last game. PSG 2-1 victory there. Mbappe with both of the goals. And it will be, interesting to see how many they're going to score here. I mean, last time I decided to go something stupid. It was 6-0 victory to Real Madrid against Celtic, which maybe it was a bit too much in the end. But but Real Madrid did get the victory in the end in a 3-0 victory. I'll go for 4-0 in this one to PSG, but hopefully Mbappe can score quite a lot of goals for my fantasy team. And then we'll just move on now to the final few games where we see Juventus against Benfica, where this one will be a pretty tight one, this one. Of course, Benfica are another club that has good record with the Champions League overall in the competition, but still yet to win it since there was that, well, I won't get into the story, but that curse put on Benfica from the manager. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but those that have heard it, one of the there was a top manager for Benfica, and he wanted a wage increase. Benfica didn't give it him. He left Benfica, put a curse on them for 100 years that they would never win a Champions League. And they've come so close, like 10 plus times in a final in the Champions League, never won it. So they do well in the Champions League just up until they reach the final stages. And of course, when you've got the likes of Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich in the competition, I don't think you are going to win it. But ignoring the curse, I do think Juventus will win this one. I'm going to agree with the majority of this one. I'll go 2-1 Juventus victory in this one. Benfica, not a team to mess about with, but I do think they'll lose in this one after all of that. And then we've got Copenhagen against Sevilla, where Sevilla will want to bounce back from the Manchester City defeat. I think they'll do that. I'm going to go for another 2-1 scoreline, backing both sides to score. 2-1 Sevilla in this one. And then next up is going to be a good one, Manchester City against Borussia Dortmund. Erling Haaland facing his old club. This is going to be brilliant. At the Etihad, I think there's going to be goals. And just looking at the popular predictions at the bottom there. Obviously, they're all backing Manchester City victories, but they're also backing Dortmund to score, which I do agree with. But also, they're all high scorers, which I also do agree with as well. I don't think it's going to be some narrow 1-0 victory to Man City. And I'm going to go, actually, for a 4-1 victory to Manchester City in this one. Big scoreline. I am going to think Dortmund are going to find one, though. But Man City at the Etihad really put pressure on teams. And I think it'll be a good game for Man City. Maybe a good game for Haaland as well. Next up is Real Madrid against Rb Leipzig. Again, not sure if Benzema will be fit for this one. He should be, but still not sure yet. He did pick up a knock in the Celtic game in around the 20th minute. But despite him not being there or being there, whatever, Eden Hazard did come in and got himself a goal for the first time in ages. And I do back Real Madrid to win this one. I don't think Leipzig will be able to score, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 Madrid win. And then we finish off with Chelsea against Rb Salzburg, the Austrian side, not the German side. Chelsea, obviously, they'll have their new manager, Thomas Tuchel, being sacked after the 1-0 Dynamo Zagreb defeat, which I say was a little bit harsh. Salzburg, as I did mention before, did get a nice 1-1 draw with AC Milan in their last game. And I think Chelsea should win this one at Stamford Bridge. I think they'll be able to break down the defence a bit, the opposition's defence a bit more than they managed to do with Zagreb. As I said, at home should be a bit easier. I think they'll score goals as well in this one. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Salzburg 0 to wrap up my matchday 2 predictions of this Champions League year. So yeah, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. My fantasy football is already out, my team update for game week 2, so go and check that out as well. And I will see you all next time.